friends. I hope you guys are having a great day today. My name is Miss Schlor, and today we're going to be working on our Foundations Phonics. We're going to practice our letters and sounds. We're going to practice skywriting and writing our capital letters. And then at the very end, we're going to practice writing some sentences. You are going to need a piece of paper and a pencil. And remember, you need those things on every video. So every time you turn on one of these videos, make sure that you have a paper and pencil to write on so you don't waste any time getting started with the video. The first thing that we're going to do is practice our letters and sounds. So I'm going to say the letter and do the motion and the sound. And then when I point at you, that means that you are going to repeat after me just like I do it. First letter is Q, queen, qua. L, lamp, ol. K, kite, k. G, game, g. N, nut, n. T, top, t. O, octopus, ah. U, up, I, itch, I. A, apple, a. E, ed, e. And those are all of our letters. I hope you guys followed along with me and said the sounds, because remember, when we practice, we get better at things. And that's what we're trying to do when we are on these videos. We're trying to become better readers and writers. The next thing that we're going to do is we are going to practice skywriting and writing some of our capital letters. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to skywrite it, and you are going to watch and listen. Then we'll take our paper and pencil and we will write it together. And then at the very end, we will skywrite the letter and say it together. Our first letter that we are going to practice is L, lamp, ol. So go ahead and just watch me first. Point to the skyline, go down to the grass line, make a line on the grass line. L, lamp, ol. Okay, go ahead and take your pencil and write it with me. Point to the skyline, go down to the grass line, make a line on the grass line. L, lamp, ol. Okay, take your super straight arms, no T-Rex arms, because then it's hard to see where we're pointing. And let's go ahead and practice saying it and skywriting it together. Point to the skyline, go down to the grass line, make a line on the grass line. L, lamp, ol. Okay, great job, my friends. Let's erase that letter. And our next letter that we're going to practice is K, kite, k. Watch me first. Point to the skyline, go down to the grass line, leave a space and point to the skyline, slide back to the plane line, slide over to the grass line. K, kite, k. Okay, go ahead and take your pencil and let's write it together. Point to the skyline, go down to the grass line. Leave a space and point to the skyline. Slide back to the plane line. Slide over to the grass line. K, kite, k. Okay, let's take our super straight arms and skywrite it. Point to the skyline. Go down to the grass line. Leave a space and point to the skyline. Slide back to the plane line. Slide over to the grass line. K, kite, k. Great job. Let's go ahead and erase our K. And our next letter that we're going to practice is N, nut, N. So you're going to watch me first. Point to the skyline. Go down to the grass line. Point to the skyline. Slide down to the grass line. Go straight up to the skyline. N, nut, N. Okay, go ahead and take your pencil and write it with me. Point to the skyline. Go down to the grass line. Point to the skyline. Slide over to the grass line and straight up to the skyline. N, nut, N. Okay, super straight arms. Let's skywrite it. Point to the skyline. Go down to the grass line. Point to the skyline. Slide over to the grass line and straight up to the skyline. N, nut, N. Awesome job, my friends. Let's go ahead and erase our letter N. And we have 3 more letters. Our next letter is T, top, T. Watch me first. Point to the skyline. Go down to the grass line. Cross it on the skyline. T, top, T. Okay, let's take our pencils and write it together. Point to the skyline. Go down to the grass line. Cross it on the skyline. T, top, T. Okay, super straight arms. Let's skywrite it. Point to the skyline. Go down to the grass line. Cross it at the skyline. T, top, T. Okay, great job, my friends. You guys are doing a great job. Let's go on to our next letter, G, game, G. Watch me first. Point to the skyline. Fly back on the skyline. Around to the grass line. Up to the plane line. And back straight on the plane line. G, game, G. Let's go ahead and write it together. Point to the skyline. Fly back on the skyline. Around to the grass line. Up to the plane line. And back straight on the plane line. G, game, G. Okay, let's skywrite it together. Point to the skyline, fly back on the skyline and down and around to the grass line, up to the plane line and straight back on the plane line. G, game, G. Great job. Let's go ahead and erase our G. And our last letter that we're going to do is Q, queen, qua. Watch me first. Point to the skyline, trace back, then down and around to the grass line, and around back up to the skyline, and make a tail. Q, queen, qua. Okay, let's take our pencils and write it together. Point to the skyline, trace back, then down and around to the grass line, and around back up to the skyline, and make a tail. Q, queen, qua. Okay, our last time that we're going to skywrite it, I know you guys can do it with me, because if I can do it, that definitely means that you can do it with me. Point to the skyline, trace back and down and around to the grass line, and back around to the skyline, and make a tail. Q, queen, qua. Awesome job, my friends. You guys made it to the very end of writing all of those letters. I want you to shake out those arms. We did an extra letter today. Normally we only do 5, but today we did 6. So I know your guys' arms must be tired, and I'm so proud of your hard work that you've done today so far. The next thing that we are going to do is we're going to play a quick game before we move on to writing our sentences. And today's game is I'm going to think of a part of my body and I'm going to tell you what sound that part of my body starts with. And I'm going to give you 5 seconds to stand up and point to your part of your body. And then I'm going to tell you what I was thinking of. So, our first part of my body I'm thinking of starts with the sound O. It starts with the sound O. So stand up and point to your body part that starts with the sound O. 5. Okay, my part of my body that I was thinking of that starts with the O sound was my legs. My legs start with the O sound. Awesome job. We're going to do 2 more. The next part of my body that I'm thinking of starts with the H sound. It starts with the H sound. 5. And 0. My part of my body that starts with the H sound were my hands. My hands start with the H sound. 1 more to go. The part of my body that I'm thinking of starts with the T sound. It starts with the T sound. 5. And 0, my part of my body that I was thinking of that starts with the T sound was my tongue. My tongue starts with the T sound. I hope you guys were able to point to your parts of your body as well. The next thing that we are going to do is we are going to practice writing some sentences. So I took off our board and we are going to write some sentences. So I'm going to say the sentence. We're going to do the first one together. I'm going to say it on our fingers to figure out how many lines we need. And then we are going to write the sentence on our board using our power words. Because power words help us write sentence quickly, because power words are words we just know. So I have the ones that we need right here. And we are going to say them together. So when I point at you, you are going to repeat after me. The, a, is, his. So if you hear one of these words in a sentence, you can look on our board to know how to write it. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Our first sentence is Meg is not sad. Meg is not sad. Now let's say it on our fingers. Meg is not sad. So we need 4 lines because there's 4 words in our sentence. Meg is not sad. And I heard one of our power words, so we will make sure that we spell our power word correctly and then tap out any of the other words that we don't know. So our first word is Meg. Let's tap that one out. Egg, Meg. Now let's write it. Egg, Meg. Meg is. Is one of our power words, and it's down here. Is. So I know how to write down that one quickly. Meg is not. We're going to have to tap that one out. Ought not. Ought not. Meg is not sad. Sad is not a power word, so we have to tap that one out. Sad. 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 Awesome job. We wrote our whole sentence. Now let's reread it to make sure we got it right. Meg is not sad. We did it. Awesome job, my friends. Now we're going to do one more together, and I'm going to say the sentence, and then I'm going to let you and try it on your own. Our next sentence is Mom had a nap. Mom had a nap. Now let's say it on our fingers. Mom had a nap. We need 4 lines. Mom had a nap. Now I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to try and write it on your own. Remember, power words are words that you can use right here to write it quickly. And any other word that is not a power word, you're going to tap out and write it on your own. So 30 seconds starting now. About 10 more seconds. Okay, the sentence we are trying to write is Mom is not sad. So let's start. Mom is not a power word, so we tap it out. Mom. Mom is. Is one of our power words. So we can just write it right here. Mom is. Oops, I accidentally messed that one up. We are not writing is there. I was thinking of our other sentence. We are writing had. Mom had a nap. So Mom had, let's fix that, had. Had. Mom had a. Here's our power word in our sentence. I just made a mistake, but that's okay because we can always erase and fix it. So Mom had a nap. That's the word we tap out. A nap. Mom had a nap. That's how we wrote it. We did a great job. Even if we made a mistake, I can even go back and fix it and everything's okay. Because when we make mistakes, that means that we're learning. So we're always learning and fixing things that we mess up on, and that's okay. I'm going to say one more sentence, so when this video is over, you can practice that last one, and you can have one of your moms or dads or whoever's at home fix it or check it for you, and I will see you in our next video. So here's our last sentence. The pup had fun. The pup had fun. So go ahead and try and write that on your own, you guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye!
My name is Ms. Zhang, and I am a kindergarten teacher at Silver Lake Elementary School in Federal Way. I am here to do a kindergarten math lesson with you all, so thank you so much for joining me, and let's go ahead and get started. All right, boys and girls, let's get started with our calendar talk. Let's see, we are still in the same month of July, so it is still July. Does anyone know what day of the week it is today? What day of the week it is today? I'll give you a big hint. Yesterday was this day. Yesterday was Tuesday. So then if you look right next door, today is Wednesday. Yes, our only day of the week that starts with a W. So nice job if you're able to shout that out and you knew that Wednesday comes after Tuesday. Great job. All right, so like I said, we are in the last week of July. So if I follow Wednesday down, I should find our specific date in July. And that number is, does anyone know what number I am circling? It is 29. Nice job. So we are on the 29th day in July. We are so close to the end of July, which is so wild to think about. All right, so our full date, if we look at it, is Wednesday, July 29th. Wednesday, July 29th. All right, and then let's look forward to the next day. After Wednesday comes, what's that day of the week that starts with TH? Thursday. So tomorrow is going to be Thursday. All right, so thank you so much for following along with our calendar talk for today. All right, so I have a little activity for us. One of my friends was playing basketball, and I actually was able to record him while he was shooting. So this game is you need to count how many times he scores a basket, how many times the ball goes through the net. Okay, so again, what we're going to do is I'm going to play a video of my friend playing basketball, or he's just shooting around, and you are supposed to count how many times he makes a basket. Okay, so how many times the ball goes through the net, and count how many there are. So careful, because he doesn't make every single one of them, right? So make sure you're only counting the ones that go through the net. All right, go ahead and go. How many did you count? I counted 6 shots. Is that how many you counted? Nice job if you were able to count along with me. So yeah, I counted 6 baskets that he was able to make. All right, thank you for playing along with me. All right, boys and girls, for today's lesson, we are very much continuing on from yesterday's lesson where we were making bigger numbers, 3, 4, 5. We're really focused on those. But today's lesson, we're gonna focus on those other numbers that we didn't get to. So those numbers include 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we're going to focus on making those numbers. So again, our learning target today says learning target, I can find ways to make 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we're really focusing on how to make 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 already. Or I don't know why I said already, I meant today. So yeah, yesterday we did 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to be working on those bigger numbers. All right, let's get started. So this is again what we did yesterday. More of what we did yesterday, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so we're gonna actually start with the number 10 today. I'm gonna go ahead. These are showing you how to write the number 10. So it's actually the digits of 1 and 0. So if you know how to write the digit 1 and you know how to write the digit 0, then you already know how to write the number 10. You just put those two numbers together. The 1 comes first and then the 0 comes next. So again, 1 is just a line straight down. A 0, you start at the top and you go all the way around and you make like an oval, not quite a circle, an oval. All right, so that is 10. We are going to start off by making 10. And if you notice, I already have a 10 frame. And you may be wondering, why is it called a 10 frame? Well, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We have 10 boxes or 10 squares in our 10 frame, which is why it's called a 10 frame. So I'm going to erase that. In our first 10 frame, I'm focusing on this one at the top first. Okay? In our first 10 frame, there are already some red counters in it. There are already some red counters. So today, what we are doing with our 10 frame is we need to fill in the rest of our 10 frame so we can get to 10 counters total. All right, but we're going to fill them in with yellow counters. So what we can do is we can already fill in, how many red counters are there? 1, 2. So there's 2 red counters. Over here in this little blank, I'm going to put 2. I'm going to make it a little bit neater. 2. All right, so there's 2 red counters. How many yellow counters do I need to draw on so we can get to 10 counters total? Because right now I only have 2. That's not enough. All right, I'll give you a big hint. The reason why I love 10 frames is the way that it can tell me how many things are in it without me having to count. Okay, so let me explain that a little bit more. In this 10 frame, we already know there's 10 squares. If all of them are filled, if all of the squares are filled, how many things are there? What can that tell me? If I have a full 10 frame, what does that tell me? If a 10 frame is completely filled, that tells me that there are 10 things on my 10 frame. Because there are only 10 spots in my 10 frames. So if it's completely filled, that must mean all 10 spots are being used. So then that must mean that there are 10 things on my frame. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to fill up our 10 frame because that tells us we're getting to 10. So we already have 2 red counters. Now I need to add or put some yellow counters in here. So I'm just going to draw them until my 10 frame is filled. And you know what? I believe I can actually do that. Oh, let's see if I can draw them a little bit better. Oh, I'm in the wrong setting again. So now they look a little bit more circle-like, some of them at least. All right, so that's a little light, so I'm going to switch it to orange next time, okay? But this tells me how many yellow counters did I have to draw on here so that my 10 frame was filled. Okay, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I drew in 8 yellow counters. So over here I can write 8. So then now this tells me these 2 numbers. There's 2 red counters and there's 8 yellow counters. And altogether, how many are there? 10, because my entire 10 frame is filled. So what 2 numbers make up 8? Hopefully you're saying 2 and 8. Yeah, 2 and 8 together makes up 10. This is a little bit harder on your fingers that you can show, but you can still show it. So if I have 2 fingers, and then I need 8 more. So guess what? That's the rest of your fingers. Together, that makes 10. Okay, nice job. All right, so moving on to this next one. we have 1, 2, 3 red counters. I'm going ahead and writing a 3. How many yellow counters do I need to draw to make it 10? Maybe you can think in your head how many we need as I am drawing them. Or maybe you counted them as I was drawing them. So how many yellow counters did I draw? Technically they're orange, but let's call them yellow still. How many yellow counters did I have to draw to fill up my 10 frame, to make it so I have 10 counters total? Hopefully you're shouting out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hopefully you're shouting out 7. I drew in 7 yellow counters. So then how many, or what two numbers, if I put them together, makes 10? 3 and 7 over here. 3 and 7 together makes 10. Again, if I have 3 fingers up, I need to put up how many more fingers to make it to be 10? 7. So now I have 7 fingers up, or 7 fingers up. I have 10 fingers up. All right, moving on. Let's go to this bottom 10 frame. How many red counters am I starting out with? There's actually a lot more than before, at least. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're starting with 7 red counters. Ooh, I wonder if you already have a prediction of how many yellow counters I'm going to need to draw. All right, so let's draw our yellow counters to fill in our 10 frame. So how many yellow counters did I draw? 1, 2, 3. So what two numbers make together make 10? 7 and 3. So it's kind of like this one earlier, but the numbers were flipped. The counters were flipped. The colors were flipped. So again, 7 and then 3 more and 3. So these 3 fingers that were down, together they make 10. All right, so those are other ways to make 10. There are definitely other combinations of 10 that we did not go over. I wonder if you can find or figure them out for next time, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and move on, but keep thinking of those different numbers that make 10, okay? So those are really important. So we went over 2 and 8, 3 and 7 and 3 today. All right. Oh, we get a chance to make some more. I'm so sorry. So this is our kind of like our blocks yesterday we were working on, making 3, 4, and 5. These are also blocks, but this time we're making 10. Okay, so we need to figure out how many blocks are needed to make this 10 blocks total. So if we count, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna write 6 at the top. There's 6 blocks in that first train cube stack. Stack of cubes, I'll say. So how many cubes should I add in to make it to be 10 total? You know what? I'm gonna count on. So count on with me. After 6 comes 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have a whole stack now of 10 cubes. We can count them again just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. All right, so again, let's call these white cubes. Over here, these are our white cubes, and there were 6 of them because we already counted them before. There were 6 of them. And then we drew on these cubes. How many cubes did we draw in? 1, 2, 3, 4. So now my question is, what two numbers make 10? Because again, I have 10 total, but some are white and some are blue. So this tells me 6 and 4 makes 10. Nice job if you're able to follow along with me with that. All right, let's do another one. So again, this is just another way to look at, to figure out different ways to make 10. So how many white cubes are we starting with in this case? 2, 1, 2, hopefully you see that. And then let's practice counting up again as I am drawing some more blue cubes on. So after 2 comes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We get a little misshapen in the middle, but there's 10 cubes total after I was counting on. So again, let's double check and we can count and make sure we have all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. So we should have we have 10 cubes now. 2 of them are white. How many are blue? I didn't really color them in, but how many are blue? These are all my blue ones. So let's count how many blue ones we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 blue cubes. So 2 white cubes and 8 blue cubes together makes 10. All right, so what 2 numbers make 10? 2 and 8 together makes 10. Nice job.
That is actually all we have time for our lesson today. Thank you so much for following along. Remember, our learning target was finding different ways to make 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So yeah, keep practicing that skill, and please come back for tomorrow's lesson. I will see you then. Bye.
Hola niñas y niños, ¿cómo están? Aquí estamos en otro día de aprendizaje, hoy en nuestro tercer día. ¿Están listos ya? Como siempre, comenzaremos con nuestro calendario y no olviden tener su papel y lápiz para practicar nuestros números o una pizarrita con marcadores para poder trabajar. Aquí vamos. ¿Ya están listos? Comenzamos entonces con nuestro calendario. Como ya sabemos, todavía estamos en el mes de julio. Muy bien, en el año 2020.
2020. Nuestra lección del día de ayer fue día martes, ¿recuerdan? Si ayer fue día martes, por lo tanto, hoy será un día más, miércoles. Y ayer fue martes 28 de julio. Al 28 le agregamos uno más. 28 más 1 es 29 de julio. Pero tenemos que elegir qué animalito del mar nos corresponde en nuestra secuencia. Y recordamos que una secuencia es seguir un patrón, ¿recuerdan? Vamos a ver, comenzábamos con pez, cangrejo, delfín. 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 Pez, cangrejo, excelente, nos corresponde el cangrejito. Y ahí sí, ahora sí, sabemos que hoy es día miércoles 29 de julio del año 2020. ¿Qué aprendimos ayer? ¿Recuerdan? Ahora lo veremos. Bienvenidos a nuestro tercer día de aprendizaje y tercer significa, muy bien, día 3. Ayer aprendimos a combinar números para combinar, que es mezclar, ¿cierto? Números para formar el 6, el 7, el 8 y el 9. Como lo hicimos, también tratamos de encontrar diferentes combinaciones para cada uno de estos números. ¿Recuerdan alguno? Como por ejemplo, para formar el 6 decíamos que el 3 y el 3 los juntábamos y hacía 6. O el 4 y el 2 también hacen 6. Pues hoy nuestra meta es la siguiente. Dice, nuestra meta de hoy es aprender a encontrar pares. Pares significa dos números, de números que forman el número 10. ¿Ya están listos para hoy? ¿Todos tienen su papel y su lápiz? Comencemos entonces. Dice así, maneras de formar el número 10. ¡Wow! Miren, hay muchas maneras de formar el número 10. Podemos formar el número 10 juntando el 1 con el 9, juntando el 2 con el 8, juntando el 3 con el 7, juntando el 4 con el 6 y juntando el 5 con el 5. ¿Quieren hacerlo con sus dedos? Okay. Si juntamos el 1 y 9, los juntamos y nos da 10. Si juntamos 2 y 8, los juntamos y nos da 10. Si juntamos el 3 con 7 dedos, también nos da 10. Y si juntamos 4 con 6 más, los juntamos y nos da 10. Y si juntamos 5 con 5, también nos da 10. Y también lo podemos hacer si cambiamos los números. En vez del 1 y el 9, vamos a decir el 9 y el 1. En vez del 2 y el 8, los vamos a dar vuelta y vamos a decir el 8 y el 2. En vez del 3 y el 7, vamos a decir el 7 y el 3. En vez del 4 y el 6, vamos a decir el 6 y el 2. Y el 5 y el 5, aunque los demos vuelta, siempre va a ser 5 y 5. Por lo tanto, podemos combinar estos números ¿cuántas veces? Para formar 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 formas diferentes para formar el 10. ¡Wow! Ahora a practicar. Maneras de formar 10. Por ejemplo, vamos a usar nuestra pelotita verde, nuestros círculos verdes para formar el 10. Piensen en alguna forma que podríamos formar 10. ¿Con qué números? Escríbanlo en su cuaderno, a ver si piensan lo mismo que yo. Muy bien, escuchen por ahí. Siempre sabemos que 1, 2, 3, 4 y 5. Vamos a poner 5 verdes. Y las demás las vamos a poner amarillas. 1, 2, 3, 4 y 5. Entonces aquí tenemos una forma de formar 10. ¿Cuál sería esta forma? Díganme ustedes. ¿Cuántas verdes tenemos? Tenemos 5 verdes y ¿cuántas amarillas tenemos? 5 amarillas forman 10. Muy bien. ¿De qué otra forma podríamos formar 10. Veamos, vamos a poner, ¿cuál podría ser? 1, 2 verdes y todas las demás amarillas. 1, 2, 3 amarillas, 4, 5, 6, 7 y 8. Eso quiere decir, ¿cuántas verdes hay? 1 y 2 quiere decir que 2. ¿Y cuántas amarillas hay? ¿Recuerdan? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 y 8. 2 y 8 también forman, ¿qué número? 10. Tenemos dos maneras de formar 10 aquí. Como podemos ver, 5 y 5. Y como podemos ver acá abajo, 2 y 8. El 5 con el 5 forman 10 y el 2 con el 8 también forman 10. Veamos, ¿qué otra forma podemos hacer? Piensen ustedes. ¿Cuántos verdes podemos poner? A ver. Pongamos 1, 2, 3, 4 y sigamos con las amarillas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. ¿Qué quiere decir eso? Que exactamente que 4 y 6 forman 10. 4 más 6 forman 10. ¿Qué otra forma podríamos hacer para crear un 10? Ya hicimos 5 y 5, hicimos 4 y 6. ¿Cuál otra vez hicimos? ¿Recuerdan? Hicimos 5 y 5, 2 y 8. Y ahora 4 y 6. Veamos, pongamos, más circulitos. Pongamos 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. ¿Cuántas amarillas tenemos que hacer para 10? Veamos. 1, 2 y 3. Excelente. 4 y 6 forman 10 y también 7 y 3 forman 10. Muchas formas de crear 10. Ahora dice así. A. Conectar lo aprendido. Vamos a cambiar nuestro lápiz para poder escribir y vamos a conectar lo que ya hemos aprendido. Eso quiere decir que vamos a juntar con una línea los grupos que coincidan con la ecuación numérica, ver con qué números forman 10. ¿Están listos? Vamos primero a contar. Vamos a contar cuántas pelotas de fútbol hay, cuántas pelotas de básquetbol hay para formar el 10. ¿Listos? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hay 9 pelotas de básquetbol aquí. Hay 9, perdón, de fútbol. 9 pelotas de fútbol. ¿Y cuántas de básquetbol? 1. Por lo tanto, me está diciendo que el 9 con el 1 forman, ¿qué número? El 10. Excelente. Vamos entonces a unirlo con ¿cuál? El 5 y el 5, el 4 y el 6 o el 9 y el 1. ¿Qué piensan ustedes? Exactamente, el 9 y el 1. No nos funciona nuestro lapicito mágico. No sabemos qué pasó. Mientras sigamos con la otra. ¿Cuántas pelotas de básquetbol vemos aquí? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pelotas de básquetbol. Y las otras son de béisbol. ¿Cuántas pelotas vemos acá? 1, 2, 3, 4 y 5. Eso quiere decir que el 5 con el 5 forman el 10. Ups, ahí apareció nuestra línea. ¿Me ayudan ustedes? Dijimos entonces que el 9 y el 1, que era el que estaba aquí abajo, el 9 y el 1 formaban 10. Y aquí dijimos 5 y 5 también forman el 10. Y la última, 1, 2, 3, 4 pelotas de fútbol. ¿Y cuántas de básquetbol? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 y 6. Por lo tanto, el 4 y el 6 forman otro 10. No, nos toca un minuto de descanso. ¿Están listos para nuestra adivinanza del día? ¿Qué estamos adivinando esta semana? Cosas de nuestra casa. Puede ser cualquier objeto de nuestra casa. ¿Recuerdan? Yo leo y ustedes escuchan. Y luego leemos todos juntos. ¿Listos? Dice así. Adivinanza del día. Sube llena, baja vacía. Y si no se da prisa, la sopa se enfría. Algo en nuestra casa. Parece que puede ser algo de la cocina. ¿Quién soy? Ahora leamos todos juntos. Adivinanza del día. Sube llena, baja vacía y si no se da prisa, la sopa se enfría. ¿Qué será? ¿Qué será? ¿Ya saben? Vamos a mover la estrella a ver si ustedes adivinaron. ¿Qué será? Hay una pista. ¿Qué será? ¿Qué será? Es la cuchara. Claro que sí. Sube llena de comida, baja vacía. Y si no nos apuramos, la sopa se enfría. Buen trabajo. Mañana es nuestra última adivinanza de cosas de casa. Y para seguir trabajando, seguimos conectando. Recuerda, lo que estamos haciendo es conectar dos números que al juntarlos forman el número. ¿Qué número? Número 10. Excelente. Y vamos a contar ahora. Tenemos aquí nuestras pelotas de tenis. Veamos cuántas hay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Tenemos 7. ¿Y cuántas de fútbol americano tenemos? 1, 2 y 3. Eso quiere decir que el número 7 con el número 3, al juntarlos, forman 10. ¿Cuál de nuestras ecuaciones será? 9 más 1 es igual a 10, 2 más 8 es igual a 10 o 7 más 3 es igual a 10. Correcto, la de ahí abajo que dice el 7 con el 3 forman 10. La segunda tenemos pelotas de voleibol, Una, dos pelotas de voleibol. ¿Cuántas de tenis? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Eso quiere decir 2 y 8 forman 10. ¿Cuál ecuación sería? 9 y 1. Aquí está 2 y 8 forman 10. Y nuestra última dice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 más otra más 1 serían 10. 9 más 1 es igual a 10. ¡Excelente trabajo! Y como siempre, tan rápido que pasa el tiempo cuando estamos aprendiendo, bien entretenidos, pero llegó la hora de despedirnos. Antes de irnos, vamos a ver qué fue lo que aprendimos el día de hoy. ¿Ya recuerdan qué aprendimos? Quiero que hoy le cuenten a alguien en casa qué fue lo que aprendieron o qué hemos aprendido esta semana, ¿ok? Esta semana, hoy hemos aprendido a crear combinaciones. ¿Recuerdan lo que son combinaciones? Cuando mezclamos cosas, las combinaciones de pares para formar el número 10. A ver, díganme alguna forma de conectar el 10. 2 y 8, excelente. ¿Cuál otra saben? Muy bien, 4 y 6, muy bien. ¿Saben otra? 5 y 5 forman 10. Excelente. 2 y 8 también forman 10. Ya las saben casi todas. ¿Cuál otra? 1 y 9. Muy bien. Ya, eso es lo que aprendimos hoy. Mañana, ¿qué vamos a hacer? Mañana es nuestro último día esta semana y vamos a repasar todo lo aprendido sobre formar pares para crear números hasta el 10. ¿Recuerdan cómo lo estábamos haciendo? Desde el 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 y 9, 10. Mañana vamos a repasar con actividades entretenidas. Que tengan un lindo día y nos vemos mañana. Adiós.